I'm not gonna buy a single natural diamond from here on out for myself personally. You know why?
Why on earth would he ever tell you something like this? The only thing that stays consistent is the grind. Keep on grinding. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Maybe about 10 months or so ago, you know I'm always late to the party, TraxNYC put a video out discussing the difference between lab-grown and natural diamonds. I thought this was very, very interesting because I just recently put out a live stream talking about how Blue Nile is now selling lab-created diamond engagement rings. So I thought a pretty big player like TraxNYC would have some great input on this subject. Let's take a look at that video now and talk a little bit about why he might have made this video, if what he's saying makes sense, and all that stuff.
Definitive explanation between lab and natural diamonds. Some of you that are a little bad at science and understanding reality might have a hard time here. That's okay. I'm going to explain it anyway.
It's so true. When you start getting into like cuts, clarity, elements, and all that stuff, people start to kind of like float away. I think what really matters is what you're purchasing going to look amazing on you? Is it going to make you look more amazing? At the end of the day, that's all everybody really cares about, right?
The client by the name of Big Ben, he likes expensive and big diamonds. I have to give him a heads up before someone else steals my client by explaining him reality or the true information better than I can.
Big Ben likes big diamonds. Max went out of his way to create a diamond comparison chart to give Big Ben all of the different options that he had. Now, the reason why Max says he did this is because he's doing his due diligence. He doesn't want someone else to go to Big Ben and say, hey, Max screwed you over on this purchase. Why'd you buy these when you could have bought this? Here's some other options for you. Because no matter how much money you have in the bank, I think that it's wise for everybody to use their money wisely. And so Max went ahead, made this comparison chart, and actually I really find that it is a good chart. Something that every single person watching this video, regardless of the amount of money that you have, can go ahead and use.
Big Ben likes big diamonds, but there's three different options here. You can have a VSF, you can have a Si2J, you can have a VSF Lab. What's the price difference? Natural, with GIA certified, like everybody likes. The best of the best, to have all stones, right here GIA certified, and a cross that looks like this, is going to cost $22,000.
Now, Max mentioned the first option, the GIA certified option, is going to be the best of the best. It's GIA certified, so you can have a bit of comfort in knowing that your diamonds, before you purchase them, were certified by a third party to state that they are at a clarity and a cut and a weight and all this and that you can be proud of. Now, a lot of the time, people do say that the diamonds that are looked at by the GIA are certified GIA. But I just want to make a clarification that maybe a lot of people do or do not know. Something, again, that I brought out in that live stream that we had. The GIA, or the Gemological Institute of America.
Hello, I'm your friend, Kokaka. I'll help you practice English conversation.
Do not certify anything. So when you buy a diamond that was certified by the GIA, you're not buying anything certified. They are simply a third party that is supposed to be looking at your diamond and rating that diamond on a certain scale. Now, that scale can vary depending on who you go with. There are many other third parties that you can go ahead and have rate your product, rate your stone. So the GIA may not match up to other third parties that might go ahead and rate your stones. So keep that in mind. Nothing is certified. You're just having an expert look at that product and say, yes, I believe it looks like it's this color, this weight, this clarity, and so forth.
To have all stones, right here GIA certified, and a cross that looks like this, is going to cost $22,000.
We can see that the first option is a very slightly included F color diamond.
If you want to save some money, not happy about this price, you could go, like usually people did for so long, Si2 J color, $11,000.
Or the second option, which is half the price, is a slightly included, not very slightly included, J color diamond. Now, did you guys notice a difference between the first option and the second option? If you didn't, that's okay, but if you did, kudos to you. The second option is actually more yellow. That's going to come in as far as the color goes. Again, on the grading scale of colors when it comes to stones, you have over here the J being less clear or more colorful, less colorless than the first option that he originally showed us. And it also has more inclusions. It's not very slightly included, it's slightly included. Choosing an option like that will allow you to purchase a stone of a greater size for less money when compared to a stone that has less inclusions and less color in it. You want a clear color for the most part when you're looking for a diamond.
Or you could go and you could get this cross for $5,500. $5,500 in a VSF, but it's lab. What's the difference? Someone digs a hole in the ground and the other is grown in a laboratory.
The third option is a lab-created VSF color diamond. That is the cheapest of all the options. That is at $5,000. Unbelievable. So what's the difference between these three stones? We have the first option, which is created in the earth and has fantastic clarity and fantastic color. The second was created in the earth, but there's more color to it. It's less colorless, and it has more inclusions. And then the third option is a lab-created diamond that mimics the first diamond, but it's not made in the earth, it's made in a lab.
What year is it? Right now, it's 2022. At least we've accomplished something. You don't need to dig a hole in the ground to get a diamond. You're not gonna buy a single natural diamond from here on out for myself personally. You know why? Because I don't want to get ripped off. I'm not going to spend $22,000 because someone dug a hole in the ground.
I love the fact that Max brought up the fact that he would never go ahead and purchase a single natural diamond ever again, because we are in 2022, or at the time of making this video, we are in 2022, and there's no reason to purchase a natural diamond. You have a diamond dealer, a jewelry maker, a professional in the industry telling you this. Why on earth would he ever tell you something like this?
He's a serious client of mine and a businessman. I have to give him a heads up before someone else steals my client by explaining him reality or the true information better than I can.
The only thing I can think of personally, and I could be completely wrong, is the fact that people are starting to realize that mined diamonds are not worth the cost that they've been having to pay for them for all this time. You have a lot of people out there who have their opinions, like Max mentioned, who will say, no, I want the best of the best, I want the most top quality, and I want the real thing. So I must dig into the center of the earth, pull out that real stone, and use that to put on my finger or whatever the case might be, whatever you want to use that for. There's many people like that, and I used to be one of them. I've spent thousands of dollars on tiny little diamonds that were perfect, colorless diamonds from the center of the earth. But now I realize, because that was in my youth, I was a lot younger, that was a long time ago, now I realize I would never personally go ahead, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with doing this, because everyone has their own opinion, everyone has their own reasons. And a lot of the time when you're buying diamonds, it's an emotional thing, which is why I recommend thinking about your purchase and wondering why you want the purchase you want before you go ahead and make an emotional decision. I don't personally feel the need something that was natural. I want the look, I want the fire, and I want to keep the money in my bank account. You can spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on other things, investments, a car, a home, something that will actually benefit you. Because at the end of the day, are diamonds really going to benefit you? Dug from the earth diamond going to benefit your life? Probably not as much as many other things will. So I love the fact that he brought this up. And I believe that he brought this up because he knows that people are starting to understand. Because why would a jeweler who can get thousands upon thousands more for the same product, essentially, not want you to spend more money? Well, I think he's being honest. I think he's giving the option to the client because he doesn't want his client to find out from someone else. And I also think that he realizes that this is becoming a thing. People are starting to realize there's other options. Diamonds are not what people have always thought them to be, as rare and as valuable as what we've been told. And so he wants to put it out there because he's starting to see a shift and he wants to make the shift ahead of the entire shift happening outside of him mentioning it. And again, he mentions if you want, you can go ahead and buy the more expensive one if you feel like having it naturally occur in the earth is worth that price tag, and it will be GIA certified. Again, that is simply an expert looking at your diamond, checking out the characteristics, and saying that it falls along this scale.
It's up to the client to decide. You like your traditional way and what somebody said and whatever the hell it is, that's okay. You could get your GIA certified.
If you go to another lab, such as IGI, for example, another third party that will inspect your stones, they might tell you that it falls along this scale. So each lab is going to have their own opinions. There's really no definitive answer, and therefore there is no actual certification. Nothing is certified. It's simply graded on a scale by the opinion of a so-called expert, which I'm sure they are experts, absolutely. But again, it's just an opinion. Other places will have their own opinion, and therefore, what is that GIA really doing for you? It's basically just kind of confirming that, yes, you have a real diamond, and yes, it is around this size, color, clarity, cut, and all that stuff.
What you don't want to do, what the suckers do, what the complete and utter fools do, is they get the SI2J color for $11,000 because they think that that's natural, but that's this and that's that. That's because you're doing business with suckers and you're a sucker yourself. Point blank.
So he mentioned that the fools, the morons, the idiots, only they will go for the more colored diamond. The medium-priced diamond, the medium-priced option, the option that is going to give you a more included, less clear color stone because they want to spend less money but also have a real mined diamond. Do I feel like if you want something like that, that you are an idiot, that you are a moron, that there's something wrong with you? No. And the reason why is because I actually know a couple of people who prefer the color difference. They like it to be less clear. Some people actually want the color to be a little bit more colorful rather than colorless. And so you have a lot of different people out there, and there's nothing wrong. You got people walking around with blue stones, yellow stones, pink stones, and all that stuff. Why not wear something that you like? Would I personally buy the more yellow tinted diamond? I would not personally. But does that mean that you shouldn't? Absolutely not. You got sapphires out there, you got emeralds, and you got blue topaz, you got all this crazy stuff. There's nothing wrong with buying, in my personal opinion, for the color. Even lab created stones come in a less desirable color because they will cost you less money. When you create something in a lab, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I am not a gemologist. I'm just talking about what I've learned over the years. You can go ahead and create stones in a lab that will come out with a more yellow tint, a more brown tint, and that's where they fall along the scale. And if you want to spend less money, you can go ahead and purchase that. And at the end of the day, when you're buying a less clear stone these days, well, you're going to go ahead and be looked at as, wait a minute, that might be a legit diamond. Because everybody's walking around with this clear stuff in their ears and on their fingers and all this stuff. Everybody's wearing the clear stuff. You got bright, colorless diamonds and diamond simulants popping out everywhere. So, you know, why not be a little bit different? I don't see anything wrong with it personally. What do you guys think in the comments?
One is which? Is it this lab and this natural? Your right side, is this the lab one? Is this the natural? Or is it this one? Or is it that one? Or is it this one? It's impossible to tell. I can't tell. I've been doing this for 18 years. Somebody tell me that they could tell. They're lost their mind and they don't know what they're talking about.
I agree 100% with what Max said. If someone says that they can tell just by looking at a stone, whether or not it is a lab created or a natural mined diamond, that they are out of their mind. And I would have to agree. There's no one who will be putting your stuff under a microscope when you're wearing it. It's not going to happen. So don't fear that you're going to wear something and all of a sudden someone's going to know. They're not going to know anything. They're just going to know what you tell them and what they assume. Now, if you walk around feeling inferior and self-conscious because of the purchase you've made, that might come across. That's another story. But there's no way on earth anyone would ever know the difference between a lab-created diamond and a natural diamond unless they put it under an actual microscope, or if they did the test that Max actually does.
But do not get the SI. These are not diamonds that you could respect.
But don't get the SI. These are not diamonds you can respect. Everybody has an opinion. What do you guys think? Are SIs not respectable pieces? I think everybody has their own opinion. And there's nothing wrong if you want a stone that has more inclusions, less clarity, a different color. At the end of the day, guys, are you really going to be able to tell? With the color, yes. But unless you're actually comparing it to another stone right next to it, you might not even really know the difference unless you have an idea already about what other pieces look like.
See, here's what I'm going to tell you. 10 years from now, the year is 2022. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, this video is going to prove itself 100, because over the course of time, you're going to find that these lab stones are probably going to be everywhere and outshine and outsize everything, unless this whole of society could be duped to some degree or another.
Max is making sure he is covered. In about 10 years or so, according to Max, these lab-created stones are going to be everywhere, and unless you can dupe society...
Unless this whole of society could be duped to some degree or another.
Unless you can dupe society, lab-created stones are the future. Now, I want to point out a video that Max recently came out with not too long ago that I actually discussed on the channel in regards to him talking about moissanite.
You don't get the same light effect as you do as with a diamond. That's why moissanites...
Already, the profits for jewelers when it comes to diamonds have dropped significantly because people, guys, I'm not even talking about 10 years from now, I'm talking about like 5 years ago, maybe even more than 5 years ago, lab-created diamonds were a thing and are a thing, and they're catching fire, People are starting to realize there's no need to pay for a natural mined diamond, which is why Max over here is going ahead and pushing now the lab diamonds. Nothing wrong with that. He's being 100% honest with you guys, and he's giving you great advice to help you in your future purchases. But he mentioned in that other video that moissanite is garbage. He mentioned that. Now, that's something that I disagree with. Already jewelers are taking a hit when it comes to diamonds down to lab-grown diamonds. But what is something that is actually an option if you don't mind it looking different? When you compare it to a diamond, you can get something kind of similar as far as bling, as far as cut, clarity, look, and all that stuff. You can go ahead and get a moissanite. Now, I've asked this a lot since I made that video. They are two completely different stones. So if you ever have anybody tell you that a moissanite is a fake diamond, they are uneducated, unfortunately. But you have options in there. He could have went ahead if he wanted to and shown a moissanite as another option for his client. Why would he not show another option for his client in that regard? I am completely speculating, by the way. He doesn't want to push his profits that low because, in all honesty, I believe he started push to moissanite. No one would be buying lab diamonds. No, well, not nobody, but very few people would be buying lab diamonds, and even far fewer people would be buying the regular diamonds. Eventually, he's going to be phasing out those old real mined diamonds. He's going to be focusing on labs, and he can still make thousands and thousands and thousands of profit when compared to moissanite, because moissanite is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to cost, but it is the top of the line when it comes to bling. Yes, moissanite is different because it looks different. So you will not buy a moissanite and it will not look like a diamond. It won't. It's in a separate category. But it rivals a diamond when it comes to people looking at you and thinking, wow, this person has money, this person has style, this person has this, and this person has that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please feel free to reach out, like, subscribe, share this video if you found value in it. Thank you guys for supporting this channel, and let me know, what do you think? Mined diamond, lab-created diamond, or a moissanite? Let me know in the comments, guys. Be safe, talk soon. I'll catch you all at the next video.